Welcome to day 2 of the Northern Colorado IMRG Saddle Up and See Dinosaurs road trip. Today is Sunday, July 27th, 2025. Our geological journey will begin with a ride to the Dinosaur National Monument to visit the Quarry Exhibit Hall, where hundreds of dinosaur bones are embedded in a massive fossil wall. From there, we'll wind our way north to the Flaming Gorge Area. We'll pause and enjoy lunch at the Green River restaurant located within the Dutch John Resort. And in the afternoon, we'll ride through the Sheep Creek Canyon Geological Area that traces millions of years of Earth history in the exposed strata. Then we'll complete our loop and return to Vernal, our base camp for the night. After a quick breakfast at the hotel, our first order of business is the Maverick Station, where we top off our tanks preparing for the day's journey. Dinosaur National Park is our first destination. The ride begins by cutting through the small town of Naples. Once past its limits, the terrain shifts dramatically. The lush surroundings give way to a more harsh, sun-baked landscape, becoming progressively barren and desert-like. As the horizon opens and the greens fade to more brown and dust, the change in scenery becomes more intense and feels as if the road itself is a time machine, transporting us back to the age of the dinosaurs. Dinosaur National Monument straddles the border of Utah and Colorado. We entered on the Utah side near Jensen, which is the primary destination for viewing the iconic dinosaur fossils.
And you may see grooves or riverbanks. The sediment here was once a sandy shoreline along a shallow sea that covered this region.
That looks like just volcanic. Almost up there.
The Dinosaur Quarry Exhibit Hall is the main attraction. Housed in an enclosed building is a wall of dinosaur bones. The exhibit hall protects the exposed rock face known as the Carnegie Quarry. Visitors can see over 1,500 dinosaur bones embedded in the rock, left exactly as they were discovered. These fossils belong to several species from the late Jurassic period. Exhibit includes close-up viewing and several spots where you are actually allowed to touch real 149 million year old dinosaur fossils protruding from the face of the cliff. After leaving Dinosaur National Monument, we traded the traffic of the main road for a high desert back route that would lead us to Highway 191, which we would take to the Flaming Gorge. This back road offered tranquility with its barren and desolate landscape, which also provided lots of vistas as we rode through rocky ridges. rode through lots of sagebrush and exposed layers of ancient rock on the hillsides. We gained more elevation and eventually entered the Ashley National Forest. This transition from desert scenery to forest was pretty dramatic. The dry, arid landscape gave way to stands of pine trees, and the road turned into more fun and engaging mountain curves. As we journeyed further into Ashley National Forest, we encountered lots of free-range cattle grazing calmly on both sides of the highway. Upon arriving in the Flaming Gorge area, the forest opened up to reveal the Green River. We rode across Cart Creek Bridge, built in 1962, which was originally built to allow workers to cross on their way to the construction site of the Flaming Gorge Dam. The dam is located on the Green River and forms the Flaming Gorge Reservoir. It's used to provide water to Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, and New Mexico. After crossing the dam, we headed on to the Green River Grill, located within the Dutch John Resort, for lunch. With our energy replenished from a long rest and satisfying lunch, we were re-energized and ready to hit the road once again. One celebratory dance later, we mounted our motorcycles, fired our engines, and headed back out in the direction we came. Flaming Gorge Dam is 502 feet high and stretches 1,285 feet across at the top, and was completed in 1964. It also has hydroelectric generating units that have a combined capacity of about 151 megawatts. Utah State Route 44, which was a very scenic stretch of road where the massive Green River would appear every so often between distant ridges. We paused for a while at a rest area just before the beginning of the Sheep Creek Canyon Geological Loop. Riding through the Sheep Creek Canyon Geological Area was definitely a highlight of the day. What made riding on this loop truly unique is the road follows the Uinta Fault. You could see earth layers and towering rock walls that were forced into incredible positions over 800 million years. The canyon was absolutely beautiful and fascinating. Reached the end of Sheep Creek Canyon, we stopped for a break and to stretch our legs. We took a bunch of pictures and talked about how great the canyon ride was. This canyon ride was truly awe-inspiring and far surpassed our expectations. We hadn't anticipated such a magnificent road to travel on. Leaving the geological area, we started our return trip to Vernal. We headed south on Highway 191, essentially retracing the path we took to Flaming Gorge, but only in reverse. This gave us the opportunity to experience the beautiful scenery once again, but with a fresh perspective going in the opposite direction. We completed day 2, which was all about dinosaurs and prehistoric red rocky cliffs. We got an early start, topped off the tanks, and hit the road. The terrain was harsh and desert-like, arriving at our first big stop, Dinosaur National Monument. The Dinosaur Quarry Exhibit Hall was the main event. We got to see and touch dinosaur bones from the late Jurassic period, sticking right out of a huge rock wall, which was pretty cool. Next, we headed north to Flaming Gorge. We climbed up through the desert, through all the sagebrush and ancient rock layers, and then hit the beautiful Ashley National Forest, which provided us with some fun mountain curves, big pine trees, and even some free-range cows grazing right by the road. Once we reached Flaming Gorge, we rode over the historic Creek Bridge and the Flaming Gorge Dam. We stopped for a great lunch break at the Green River Grill in Dutch John. The afternoon's real showstopper was the Sheep Creek Canyon Geological Loop. It was totally awe-inspiring. The road follows the Uinta Fault, so you get unbelievable views of towering rock walls and earth layers that go back millions of years. What an amazing day of riding. Unfortunately, tomorrow we head for home.